Well, hey everybody, welcome to this week's midweek message. Hope everybody's having another great week. So a lot of times the things that I talk about on here are things that have happened over the last week or two, or things that have been on my mind, and I think I'm gonna turn those into a message. And so they end up being the message, whether it's that week or if I have a topic for that week already, they get pushed off for a week or two, but sometimes they're spur of the moment. And that is exactly what today's is gonna be, is spur of the moment, because I had a topic that I was gonna talk about, something that had happened earlier this week that I wanted to share, but it's going to have to wait because I had something happen this morning that I think is really cool and I want to share it. So this is real life, off the cuff, from the heart stuff. So this morning I had a doctor's appointment, just a routine checkup, and I'm in there, I'm talking to one of the employees. I'm not going to mention her name because she may not want her name on here, but I'm talking to one of the employees there, and she goes on to tell me that we weren't friends on Facebook, but she goes on to tell me that one day recently she came across one of my videos on Facebook and she watched it. And so she just started scrolling through them and kept watching them and kept watching them. And she's watched several since then. And so she basically just told me thank you for doing the videos, and she really appreciated what they were about, and just thanked me for doing them. And I told her how much I appreciated that. And it's always so cool to get feedback from people that watch them. And sometimes people that don't even know are watching them tell me those things. And so it's really cool to hear that. But what happened next in this conversation is what is so cool about this situation. So we go on with our conversation, and she tells me this story about her, and it involved her church and her daughter. And it was an awesome story. And what she didn't know was that story was exactly what I needed to hear at that exact time. It dealt with something that I've been dealing with in my own life, and to be honest with you, kind of struggling with in my own life currently, and it completely changed my outlook and my opinion on the topic that I'm talking about. And so she may not ever watch this video. I don't know if she'll see it or not, but if she does, she'll know what I'm talking about. And so thank you for telling your story. I was impacted right then by her story. Why? Because she wasn't afraid to tell it. She wasn't afraid to tell her story right then and there. And so I say all that to say this. If you're doing anything for God, don't think that it's going unnoticed or that people don't need it, because people are noticing and people do need those things. And so that is that's what's so cool about sharing things like that, is you don't know who it's impacting, but just like her having the courage to tell her story to somebody that she doesn't know very well, had a huge impact. And so I don't think that things just happen coincidentally a lot of times. There's a plan, and when God orchestrates a plan, it works out just like it's supposed to. And so, you can't make this stuff up, people. This is, just like today, this was supposed to happen at exactly the time that it happened, because it helped me out so much. There's been, over the course of the last year of doing these videos, there's been so many conversations about God that start with these videos, and that's been really cool. But there's so many times when I'm impacted just like this, because people are willing to share their stories with me and talk about God and what it's done for them or whatever. And so if you're doing anything for God, continue to do that. And don't think that people aren't noticing or that they don't need it, because people are noticing what you're doing and what you're saying, and they do need those things. So I encourage you, please keep doing what you're doing for God, because people need it, and it has a huge impact. So as always, love God, love people, go make a difference.